Hi guys, Tappy, hope you're keeping well. Yes, live at Goodwood, and what a day it's shaping up to be. I was invited down here from the guys at McLaren Artura very kindly to have a look at the Artura, which has been absolutely phenomenal. That's what this video is all about. Come on to that in a bit. Great car. Very fortunate in that I got up the hill in it, which was a really cool experience, something I've never done before, and wasn't expecting to do it today. That was a bit of a surprise, so very cool, and a huge thanks to the guys for organising that. See that behind me? That is a McLaren F1. Very rare and very sought after in the automotive industry, probably in the top 5 list of any car head's top 5 car list, I would reckon, certainly in mine, and really admired after these things as a kid. Now, it's very rare that you see one out and about. One, there's 5 here today, just hanging out, 5 of them. Yep, 5 McLaren F1s, one of which is a GTR, and these go for pretty bonkers money, so I reckon there is about £100 million worth of car just sat there. Insane. I mean, they seem to go for a larger and larger sum every time they come up for auction. But yeah, so cool to see 5 of them just hanging out. And just brought to my attention, this is the very car, build number 49, that Rowan Atkinson crashed. You may remember that if you know your F1s. So, I think you'll agree, a car definitely worth repairing. Anyway, topic of this video is the Artura. Gonna get out for a drive in it, walk round, give you my initial thoughts, first drive, very exciting.
So let's get down to business, less of my face and more of the cars. You'll see 3 lovely McLaren Arturas there, one in orange, one in grey, which is of course the fastest, and one in white, all looking very nice and easily identifiable as McLarens, which is good. At the end there you'll see the M4 CSL, rather elusive, and the craziest way to spend 130 grand in my opinion. But future collectors, I think so. So let's take a peek around the outside, and I really like it. Nice clean lines, and something about it says that it's just very well put together. And then taking a peek inside there, we can see that chimney to allow all that hot air to escape from that twin turbocharged Hot V, new layout from McLaren. Going around the side, you'll see no door sills, giving it those nice clean lines, and I really love those vents above the wheel. Very nice indeed. And yes, it does look a bit like a 570, but so what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like the fact you can look at this and say, yes, it is a McLaren. And then of course, it's got the dihedral doors, butterfly doors. It wouldn't really be a McLaren without that. Stepping inside, the build quality feels good. It feels like it's up a notch from the 570S. So absolutely no complaints there. One thing I really like here is the binnacle. The whole unit moves in and out. So the dash moves with the steering wheel, which is great because it means that you're never going to have the view obscured. The button layout is much better as well. You'll see there's a dedicated button there for the nose lift, which was an annoying feature fiddling around on that stalk before. The iris system's being replaced with a brand new system which looks a lot better. It seems much more responsive. You press a button, you get instant feedback. It's much higher definition and I really like it. Simpler layout, you'll notice that the active button is gone. You've got these controls to the left and to the right of the binnacle there. The left-hand rocker is for the handling and the right-hand rocker is for the powertrain. You do not need to press an active button to make them work. Yep, there was a 296 GTB there, I had to have a quick look at that. So you could say there's a kind of a competition between the Artura and that. Not necessarily so, I'd say the GTB's at a level above, more brake horsepower, loads more money, but I just don't think it's going to be as fun as the McLaren. We all know McLarens are all about fun. So we headed off on our way to the top of the run. And this really gave me a chance to just get a feel for the Artura, and honestly, it feels tight. And by that I mean it just feels very well put together, very solid. It's a light car, pretty much the same as the 570S, which is no mean feat considering the battery and considering that motor. On screen here you'll see VDC or variable drift control from 1 to 15. This McLaren actually has an LSD, unlike previous McLarens which use an open diff and brake steer technology. That means I think it's going to be easier to drift with the traction control off. So we headed off up to the start line, plenty of people interested in the car, filming away there, and then we were off. And yes, you instantly notice the extra 100 bhp and extra 100 pound-foot of torque in this car. Expertly handled there by Jack Barlow. Nice one, Jack, met him before an AMG day. And this car feels so tight. tight and solid, really nicely put together, an absolute level up from that 570S. It just pulls and pulls, and it sounds good. That engine note's different, but it sounds good. Coming into the chicane here, pulling out there, the kick in the back from that torque, that motor, is absolutely brutal and exhilarating. And the beauty of this is it feels like a McLaren. It just harks back to the feel of the 570S. You know you're in something very special indeed. It just pulls and pulls and pulls, and I really like the way that the car sounds as you push it harder and harder. Very free revving, just like it should be. Straight through the finish line there, continuing to accelerate to what felt like 3,500 miles an hour. But awesome fun. Nice driving, Jack, and then a quick stop at the top of the hill to gather your thoughts and stretch your legs a little bit after that run. So 3 Arturas there, no problems at all. Fans wearing away, no issues. Every single car managed it without any problem at all after having been sat there in the queue for ages. And the 296 GTBs there, had to have a quick look around. I do like that colour, does look pretty good there. And then a little peek inside, obviously very nicely put together as well. But yeah, I'm still leaning towards the Artura, to be fair, as much as I do like the shape of the 296 GTB. And I hear that the pedal layout in the 296 is not as good as the McLaren. And of course, McLaren, I still think, have the best driving position of any car I've ever been in by a long shot. So we headed back down the hill, and this gave us a chance just to once again have a little chat about the car and a little squirt, as you can see here. And it's just so impressive, that pickup, how quick the car is. I cannot stress. All that turbo lag completely gone because of that motor. So I think it's going to be a much better car on the road, and it just again feels very solid indeed. And then, of course, a Marshall in a Jester hat, and why not? And the other thing to note here is it's a hybrid, and that transition between the electric mode and the petrol mode is absolutely seamless. And when you're wafting about in the electric mode, you just kind of float around effortlessly. It's very nice indeed. So looking at the back end of the Artura here, what do you think about it? It is different to the 570. The 570 had those curved rear lights, kind of really symbolic of that design of car. They flattened it out for the Artura, as I say, cleaner, but you can still tell that it is a McLaren. Side profile, to me, is absolutely McLaren through and through, and that diffuser as well. So headed back into the paddock there, had a little look out the window. Plenty of people admiring the cars. I still think they look fantastic. And of course, the grey one behind the orange one there, which isn't right because the grey one, as we know, is faster. Other things to note about this car are the seats. Now this has the comfort bucket seats in it, which were absolutely brilliant. I've sat in the 720S with the track pack, and unfortunately those seats were too narrow for my cake-laden bum. So these seats, although they don't adjust in terms of the rate, they just move backwards and forwards, I found I could sit in one of these all day long, and their headroom was brilliant as well. I'm 6'6" and had no issues at all, even with a helmet on. So first impressions of the Artura, well, it was a quick run, but I've got a great feeling about this car. Yes, it might need a bit of tweaking, but I know once it gets out there into the wild, it's going to get a lot of reputation following it for sure. Can't wait to do a load more content on it. Very excited indeed.
Hopefully get out in one for real soon, test drive myself. Until then, catch you soon. See you on the next one. Bye for now.